Steady D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch.
Any final thoughts before we start?
I'm ready.
No? Are you sure you're ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm awkward on camera, but we'll do it. I'm
Really?
ready.
You sure you're awkward?
I think so,
Okay.
but I do my best.
Welcome back to the BunnyRanch podcast. I'm James, and as you hear, she's awkward on camera, but she's not. This is Lola from BunnyRanch.
Hi, I'm Lola.
So,
I don't know what to do.
exactly. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I know. I'm like, do I pose? Do I like get sexy? Like, you know? Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the viewers probably like that, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But so, again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, or anywhere else we put this on our own websites and everything, welcome. Now, today we have Lola Labella, right? I said it right?
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. Lola
Okay.
Labella.
I want to make sure I actually did it correctly.
Yes, yeah.
So, and she's from BunnyRanch. She's been here since we reopened, or a little after.
I've been
it,
here
right?
since September 30th.
Okay.
So 7 months?
7 months. Okay, there you go. So, coming up on a year, because you know we're almost to summertime. So
Which is crazy. Yeah, time flies.
I was like, yeah, you were here right when COVID restrictions were still a little bit, but going away, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. I came at the end of summer. I had just gotten back from Hawaii, so I was nice and tan and ready to start.
Good. Well, tell us about yourself. Who are you? Like, you know. I know you started at Kit Kat.
Yeah. Okay. So who is Lola? All right. Well, I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I did move to the Reno area 4.5 years ago.
Okay.
I've done a very broad variety of things. I kind of get bored easily, and so I like to have my life like switching up constantly. So I've been a barista, I've been a nanny, I've been a dancer. So that was my most recent before I came to the ranches. And
Wait. So a barista, then a nanny,
Yeah.
and then a stripper, and
then
then
a
now
stripper.
this.
From nanny to stripper, baby. Yeah.
I mean, okay, that's a weird, interesting mix, and it's
I
kind of
take
cool
care of
it's,
people.
Well, it's kind of in the caregiving moments there, because even like strippers and the sex industry here as well, you're still taking care of clients and
Absolutely.
and everyone.
Yeah, so I've always
Okay.
gotten fulfillment just working with people. I'm a very extroverted person, and so I just love working with people. I was drawn to dancing. I don't know why. I think just the glamour of stripping. I really loved it, and I just definitely loved like that fast lifestyle. It got old pretty quickly, and then so when I moved here, I absolutely loved it. I love the community of the women here. I'm very pro sex work. Sex work is work. And I've always been really strong and open about it. I have absolutely no shame about what I do. And so I love that I work in such a positive environment where we uplift other women to work, sex work, and it's fun. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a female-driven company because our owner's female. All of our management is now female as well, as opposed to several years ago, it was a complete 360 from that.
Absolutely.
Which it was still ran similar because our top manager, which was Madame Suzette at the time, was still in charge. So it was still female-driven, but,
It's the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it makes sense to have, really a female figurehead as actually running it.
Yeah.
Kind of an homage to the Wild West era, because there were some brothel owners back in the Old West that were female.
Yeah.
Or saloon owners.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I think of Wild West and I think of pew pew. So, yeah.
It's pretty much where we are at this point. I mean, have you been to Virginia City?
I have.
I was like, because that's literally the pew pew. Like, literally, they do
The
like the
pew
little
pew.
cool like gunslinger moments in the streets in the
Oh
summer.
yeah,
And
absolutely. I was there last summer, and there's a guy with a pet potbelly pig that
Okay.
walks around there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bucket of Blood Saloon is one of my favorite places to go to, especially on an out date. It's a lot of fun. good Bloody Marys or Virgin Bloody Marys.
Oh yeah.
So those are a good time. Best pizza ever right across the street from Bucket of Blood Saloon. I forget what it's called, but it's the best pizza I've ever had.
Yeah, I remember the name. I remember it has a sign that literally says pizza, though.
Yes, yeah.
I just never can think of anything else on that sign except for it's literally a giant sign that says pizza.
And that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's really all you need.
Yeah. It's like they're really good. And then they have there's like a little like dive bar. I hate calling it a dive bar because it's a really beautiful bar. But I mean, I guess it is.
Bar. It's got character.
So, but you walk down these like really like sketchy little stairs into a basement of a place.
Good start.
And it's a huge bar, and they have bras all over the ceiling of it. And
That's
they
amazing.
make really good drinks. They have like really good Bloody Marys. My best friend's mother, because we took her there. She's been with us a few times when we go there because she's like a mom to me too. Her bra is somewhere up there, and like every time she's like she'll point out two of them. She's like, it was either that one or that one in the 80s, and she'll go and like she's talking about it. She's like, I don't remember which one. It's one of those two.
That's amazing.
And she's like, I think it was this one. It's like a cheetah print one, and then like it's just
Sounds
hilarious.
like the 80s. Yeah.
Because she's just a laid back lady, and it's like it's just funny because that bar is still there with all those original bras. And
Now, can you add new bras to it?
I'm pretty positive you can. You can donate it to there. You
I
take it
will
off
be bringing
and
my
you hand
bra.
it to them.
Yes.
So when it's over near the Bucket of Blood. It's like over by that I guess it's all called the former Bonanza Casino.
Okay.
It's like it was a closed casino. I don't know if it's open again.
Okay.
So
I think I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I've walked by and I've seen those sketchy stairs.
Yeah,
but I've just
it's-
never been down myself.
yeah, and they always have a sign that always says open, and then it's a pretty nice bar, and they have good drinks and good atmosphere.
I'm always down to go down some sketchy stairs.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's my thing. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
usually
always
those
down for an adventure.
Sometimes those moments end up being like some of the best adventures ever.
Absolutely.
I've ended up in some random places in like major cities just because we took a wrong turn and we're like, I'm not sure about this place. Oh, what is this? Oh, there's a tiki bar here. How is this?
I have always told my friends, even in weird situations, at the end of the day, you'll be able to say that's a cool story to tell. And so, you know, when I became a nanny to a stripper, I was like, well, this will be fun to tell my kids someday. Like, your mom was a stripper, you know, like
Yeah.
it's just fun. Like, this is my one life, and so I'll go down some sketchy stairs and be able to say that it's gonna be a fun story later.
Exactly.
Yeah. that's how it works.
So, what do you like to do for fun though, besides going down sketchy stairs?
Besides going down sketchy stairs, I'm a very big outdoors person. So I moved from Dallas to Reno specifically for the Sierra Nevada mountains, for Lake Tahoe. So anything to do with hiking. I like to glamp, but I also like to get rough and dirty with it. So gonna go camping, you know, maybe some backpacking. No amenities. I like to go when it's colder because there's fewer bugs. I don't like bugs. But as long as there's water or mountains or anything outdoors, some sunshine, some breeze on my face, I'm a happy girl. So, but I also like to just kind of post up at home, curl up, watch some movies, popcorn. I'm a foodie. I don't know. I kind of like everything.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it too. I mean, sometimes it's nice just to digress at home and just like exactly
Recharge the batteries.
Like I always I don't eat popcorn very often, but I always have like, you know, I have my like air popper at home that I've had for years, and I always I can pop that up and I can dump movie theater butter and everything on it.
Hell yeah.
Or else if I'm really lazy, I do have I think it's 3 bags. And I've never and it's always been a thing when I lived with my roommate, we always had only 3 bags of microwavable popcorn.
Okay, see,
Just because
the pack of 3?
Yep, it's always keep 3. So we always kept 3 just because we ever got hungry. If we always wanted to just have popcorn and we didn't want to pull out the machine, put it in there, wait for it to pop, listen to this loud noise, and then we run out of the movie theater butter and everything.
Right. So you have to have the movie
We always
theater
had
popcorn.
just those 3, just to be safe, in case we were lazy.
Well, it's my favorite snack is the microwavable popcorn.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure why. So my favorite thing to do is just to get they came out with this new flavor of vitamin water. It's really good. It's chocolate raspberry. So I'll get my chocolate raspberry vitamin water, my microwavable popcorn, maybe some Kit Kats, and just post up with a movie, and I'm a happy girl. So.
Now with Kit Kats, how do you eat them? Now this is going to divide the audience here. Are you going to chomp into it? Are you going to
Absolutely not. It's a crime.
The edges of them?
No, you have to break it apart. But there have been times, and I'm ashamed to say this, where if I can't get the wrapper open, for some reason they make the wrappers really difficult to open. And if I can't get it open and I just barely have to slide it out, then I might take a chunk out of it, just like a bite. But I try to crack them open, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, before I open them, usually I'll break them. I'll break all 4 apart, and then I'll try to tear like an edge off, and then I'll just slide one up.
That's the way to do it. Keeps your
and go
fingers from
there,
getting
and
messy.
then I'll eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times like that, or it's just, and it's mainly just because I just like it all like separated.
Yes.
So that way I can eat it like if I'm like on a road trip or
Yeah.
or
There's a
like
science
just
behind
quick
it.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some people I saw. It was a TikTok actually where they were going over the different ways people eat Kit Kats, and there's a whole community and websites dedicated to this, which I didn't. I
went down the Kit Kat rabbit hole.
Yeah, I went down this weird rabbit hole at like 2 a.m. one time. Like I think it was a couple weeks ago on TikTok, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, and then I started Googling the websites. Some people will eat the edges of a Kit Kat first, so they'll break
That
one,
makes sense to
they'll
me,
chomp it
actually.
like a little like kind of like a beaver.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
then get
like-
into the wafer inside.
Yeah, I'm like, but then it was interesting. I mean, I'm not going to shame it by any means. I'm like, because the only way I'm going to shame it is if you take literally a giant chunk and bite it from the top.
Right.
Because
yeah.
like it's not designed that. I mean,
It's not designed that way.
yeah, it's a Kit
simply.
Kat.
Yeah.
They break apart. You're supposed to share it with others.
Okay, do you know the Ferrero Rochers? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's those little gold little ball chocolates.
Okay, yeah.
They're super good. That's how I eat those. Is they have different layers, and so I'll kind of like a beaver just on the outside layer, and then I'll get into the inside wafer and then the inside nut. It's amazing, really. It's a whole experience. It's kind of transcendent, but yeah.
And then you said hiking too. Do you like? Have you gone on the Genoa Trail, like the one that's right up by Genoa, the little like old Mormon settlement town?
No, I have not.
For one, it's beautiful this time of year because of everything's in bloom. They have all these huge like I don't want to say they're cherry blossoms because they're not up here, but they're like white blossom trees, and they have like ones that look like cherry blossoms. I don't think they are.
Is that
and
near
all
Dry
this- and
Creek,
it's-
like Thomas Creek?
It's over. So you know where Topsy Lane is, like Walmart up there, and Target and all that. You keep going further down the hill towards Minden, you'll see a turn that says Genoa. And you head that way.
Okay, I know what you're talking
They
about.
do a thing called the Candy Dance every year, which is like all these like different arts and crafts and also candy,
I'll dance
like
for
all
some
this
candy.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then they also have like all those beautiful areas, like the beautiful trees that are in bloom right now. Like this will probably the only time of year where it's going to look beautiful because it's really interesting to see everything bloom again since it was snowing and then it went hot and then everything died because nothing could bloom.
Yeah.
Or it bloomed and then it snowed again. And then we went through these weird and then went through heavy snowstorms. And now everything's cooling off or like warming up and it's like all blooming. And it's weird to see like so many flowers because we've never had
This much water.
or flowers or green around us. It's always been like ever
Super
since I was
dry.
little, it's always been like really dry in Reno and area.
Oh, I like that. I mean, I like
Yeah.
the desert climate. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I love some blooming.
Exactly, I do too. Yeah, and that's a really good place if you really want to get some good photos too. Right when you turn down that road, if you follow that road all the way down, you'll see all the trees that overhang. Kind of like when you're driving through California where they overhang.
Yeah, like this is a little tree tunnel.
Yep, and there'll be all the flowers of all the different trees, and then during like late spring, you'll see them or fall. You'll see all the flowers falling off the trees as you're
Oh,
driving.
amazing.
So it's pretty cool as long as the wind doesn't destroy them first.
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
we're Nevada. We're always gonna have
so
crazy
windy,
winds.
especially with it being in the basin or the valley of all the mountains.
Yeah.
But that reminded me of I went to Kona, so the Big Island in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
right before I started here, actually. So in last September, and there was plenty of those like tree tunnels that you're talking about, just
Mm-hmm.
absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh! And they have so many hibiscus flowers over there, so they're just falling everywhere and
Yeah.
beautiful. I miss Hawaii, but
I haven't been since. It's been a long time.
I'm a mountain girl by heart,
Yeah.
really, but I do like to get some beachy time in. And Hawaii is really cool because you've got like big mountainous areas right next to the water. So
Yeah, and if you hike Diamond Head, the extinct volcano on Oahu, yeah,
I've not done that, but that sounds cool.
It's really cool. It's a good walk. I call it a hike because there are parts of it that are unpaved. Yeah, unpaved. Then they have weird stairs because there's all the old military little bunkers and stuff up there
Heck
that
yeah.
you can go up to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a giant extinct volcano that's in the middle of the island that you actually hike up and you can see all of Waikiki Beach.
Sweet.
And then you can see all the other side of the island as well. It's super cool to see. So definitely if you go to Oahu, it's a lot of tourists there.
Yeah.
But it is a nice and It's an easy hike. I would recommend not wearing sandals or
Okay.
shoes, because I did it in sandals one year the first time we went, and that was the worst idea possible.
That sounds
but
like a terrible idea.
it was still fun. Like, it was beautiful, worth every bit of pain and cutting on my foot.
Absolutely. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna tell you, so the craziest hike I've ever done was in Zion National Park in Utah. It's called Angel's Landing. I almost became an angel that day because of how insane this hike was.
Oh.
But so you're coming up on the last maybe quarter mile, or actually maybe half a mile of the hike. You are basically scaling this cliff. And you're holding on to chains.
Mm-hmm.
So you're holding on to chains and you're looking behind you, and you could very well just like fall back. I don't know why it's called Angel's Landing, but it was super sketchy, and you get all shaky when you're hiking up there because it's really crazy. But the views are incredible. And so you get to the very top of it, and you can look over and just have a 360 view of Zion National Park. I'm a big nut for national parks. I have a shirt where you get to fill in the boxes of each national park that you've been to. So that's what I do. But that was a really crazy one. I like to get crazy with my hikes, but yeah.
There's some really good places. I mean, especially if you like just even really any nature and everything. If you go down towards like central Nevada, roughly, so probably like 4 hours from here, they have like the Ichthyosaurus State Park.
Yes.
So you've been there? Okay.
Driven by it.
Okay.
Driven by
it's
it.
It's actually
just has
super
a fun
cool
name.
to go look at it. Because the Ichthyosaurus, which was found in Nevada, it's the giant prehistoric kind of whale dolphin looking thing.
Sick. Nice.
It's super cool, and they have all the actually have one of the real fossils there, and you can actually look down and you can touch the dirt. And, well, you used to be able to. This was pre-COVID. I'm pretty sure it's still there because it's a state park in Nevada. We don't change shit.
Right.
I mean, it's.
You said it was a whale kind of thing?
It's a mixture between a giant whale and a dolphin, so it has a giant dolphin nose.
Okay.
It kind of looks really like a child's drawing, like a really goofy looking thing, but
Yeah.
it's actually because there's beer named after it, like Icky, which is which is based out of Nevada, so which is why it's there. So
do you want to hear a really dumb whale joke?
I mean,
It's really great.
Nothing's dumb until it's really dumb.
I told this joke at a stand-up comedy show one time. I don't know why I did this, but okay.
Okay.
So the sounds that whales make, right? They're singing. Okay. So two whales are in a bar, and one of them says, "Ooh," and the other whale says, "Shut up, Frank, you're drunk." It's so much funnier in my head, but I always hear crickets every time I tell that joke. You mentioned whale, and I was like, I have to say it.
I mean, I appreciate the Dory, like the
It is Dory.
the
Yes.
Dory noise.
She's like, I speak whale. So, but it's my favorite joke. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We're talking about you.
Yes.
Clearly whales.
And whales. Whales are my second favorite animal. So.
All right. Well, let's hear your best whale impression then. Let's.
That was it.
No, let's do it again though. Let's have a battle here. Let's have your Dory impression. You got it? Okay.
Boom. Your turn.
I don't know. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
You started off strong though. It was very beautiful.
I didn't
Yeah.
think of that. I was like, huh.
I mean, if we did this underwater, I just want to know what would we be saying to the whales,
I don't know.
What do they hear?
They're probably like any other person.
My child.
Any human that when we hear things and weird noises like an animal bark or something. We're like,
And we're like,
oh yeah, they're happy to see us. It's really like, you.
right? It's like, screw you.
Give me food.
Well, it comes over like, what'd you just say to me?
Yeah.
That's
What'd you
funny.
say?
Right? Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Well, so now obviously you went through all those professions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which actually could entail making you good at this profession. But what would be kind of like an experience with Lola? So if someone came to the Bunny Ranch, obviously every experience is different. So I'm not saying anything in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But what would be that true magical experience that they come to see you at the Bunny Ranch? And obviously we can't go into full detail. You can't find a name and you can't give demonstrations of things.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure that is stated.
Too bad. Yeah.
And it's every time we do it too. So
let me just
She's like, let me
just show you really quick. Okay, well, I think I really pride myself in being a very versatile person.
Yeah.
I think I'm really easy to talk to. I'm very genuine. I have always really connected well with people. I love people, and any job I've ever worked in I thrived in, working with people, making them feel super cared for. And because I think I'm so open and easy to talk to, I think people are very comfortable telling me like whatever they like, whether that be a foot fetish or a straight lay. I don't specialize in any one thing. I'm not just a dominatrix. Or just a sub. I'm a switch actually, so I tend to be sometimes more subordinate with men and more dominant with women, but I can switch it up. I really like when people are comfortable telling me what they are into. If you're into cross-dressing or whatever it may be. So typical experience is we'll kind of get to know each other first. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. You tell me a little bit about yourself, because it's no fun if you can't connect, right? It's just like a stranger.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to feel comfortable with me. And I think that's what really makes the experience an experience rather than just like a transaction. And after getting to know each other and what we like, what we want to do, we proceed. So I've always had positive experiences. I've never had a bad experience here, actually. I have a lot of people end up telling me that maybe I've helped them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a previous client who had PTSD who told me that I was able to help him a lot with that. So, I mean, it's just sometimes you get to experience some really cool things here and actually great positive change. And also be able to educate people about, sex work and just make people feel good about it, I guess. I don't know. I really enjoy what I do, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, like, I've heard everything under the sun, because like what you said, the PTSD, some clients come here for a number of reasons. Mm-hmm. And it's the coolest thing to see, like, someone leaves, especially with like really, like, everyone always leaves happy, but yeah. But when you really do make a change in their life and you help them, because like in theory, actually not in theory, it really is cheaper than therapy sometimes. Mm-hmm. And some of these ladies do have those degrees, which is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. But like, just being there and being caring for someone and giving that actual moment, like, you could be helping someone more than like you even know about.
Absolutely. So I have an interesting take on this.
Okay.
I was just listening to a video about this, I think a TED Talk. Love my TED Talks.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how a lot of men face pressures in society when it comes to intimacy and being able to open up to people, which is why sometimes even professional help, like psychologists, can be very difficult to talk to. And maybe, so it's interesting is a lot of them will feel comfortable. They attribute sex with intimacy. Mm-hmm. So a lot of guys will be able to open up to sex workers and be able to talk to them about what's going on in their life, because that's what they see intimacy as, is sex. And they can feel comfortable talking to me about it, whereas they might not feel comfortable talking to a psychologist about it. It's very interesting. Yeah. But we can be really, really easy to talk to. We have stories ourselves to share. We never judge. True. And we're some of the easiest people to talk to. And so, I don't know. I think that's really interesting. Obviously it's not all men, but I think a lot of men have struggled with that, and which is why they might seek comfort and refuge in a sex worker. So. Oh
yeah, no, I agree with that. Because growing up, you always have that mentality, be a man, or
exactly
do this, or you should not do this because you're a man. Mm-hmm. Cool. Like, I didn't learn how to change a tire until I joined the Army. And even then, I still didn't really have to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's still different than regular vehicles. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do I know how to do it? Yeah, I've had to watch YouTube videos. I've had to figure it out. Like, I've done it. I can do it, but it's more of like, I don't prefer to. I have roadside assistance. Yeah. But
I have AAA, quick, baby.
Yeah, I have roadside assistance. I'm gonna push the button and have someone come save me.
AAA.
But I mean, especially if it's bad weather, I'm not gonna do it myself.
Or like Jake from State Farm.
Yeah,
he's always there.
Exactly. And where's those khakis?
There we go. You can always trust a man in khakis.
Exactly. But I mean, it's kind of interesting though, because even that, right, where you're saying where they open up to sex workers, it's kind of like that bartender mentality, right? Mm-hmm. Where people go into a bar and they'll talk and they will tell you, like, as a bartender, you'll get all those deepest, intimate secrets from someone because they trust you for some reason, even though you've just been standing there and they've only had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
But people open up because they feel more trusting and same with sex workers, and it's kind of interesting to see because
the whole wash rag bit, whether they're cleaning, you're like, what's going on, bud? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, I've told some of my darkest secrets to bartenders.
Yeah,
they're just there.
Yeah, and I mean, one of my best friends, he literally owns a bar and he's a bartender, and I've had full out conversation with him and his bartenders before about crazy things in life. So I mean, it's kind of interesting because and then when you get to the sex worker side, that means it's more personable and intimate because now you're opening up and actually letting your heart spill out.
Absolutely.
And your emotions, and that can actually lead to a lot of really good experiences, both mentally and physically.
Absolutely. When you can be completely yourself and open and honest with someone, there's nothing like that. When you can, it can be scary to bare your heart to somebody. And when you can do that without judgment and just be completely vulnerable and someone not hurt you, I mean, that's a really beautiful thing. And it makes for that much more of an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And makes for even better sex. So, yeah.
So, but on the topic of sex though, what would be some one of those either your wildest or craziest moments you've ever had in as a client coming in, say they came in, and what is that something that stands out that happens? And I'm catching you way off guard because I haven't asked this question since last season, but really what would be that kind of moment? What has anything ever stood out to you that jumps out and goes, I made a difference, like the guy with PTSD, or where, wow, that was insane, I didn't know that could happen, or because I've heard everything from, I mean, the weird shocking things. I call it weird because I've been shocked with that machine that Kamisha has before.
There you go.
And it was not fun for me, which is why I made the statement last time. So, but and I mean, every kink and fetish has something out there, and no matter what, like I said, I mean, just like you said, sex workers don't judge, and no one really judges here. I've heard every noise coming out of windows and doors, and going to my car, I'll hear some interesting things, because especially in the summer when they open their windows.
It's the best to just hear a group of women moaning. It's the best.
Exactly, especially when it's a huge, when they have huge parties, whether Sagebrush and their Fantasy, BunnyRanch and some of the bigger suites or the bungalows.
You just woke up, you walk into the kitchen to get some food, and you just hear, it's the best.
Exactly, yeah. It's those, if I could ever, I mean, I've joked about it before. If I could ever just record just the sounds of inside the brothel, obviously making sure names and stuff and things like that, but just the audio.
Hashtag brothel sounds.
Yeah, just the audio you hear on a daily basis. It's interesting because most of the time it's quiet, or you'll hear subtle music.
Sometimes you have a guy that's going crazy and he's that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's when you know you're really in it. When you hear that noise and you're like, oh, I wonder what position they're in. And and you just keep walking.
Probably doggy.
You just keep walking and go, okay, interesting. It stops you in your tracks as you're walking to the next room.
What I hear from almost every man is that doggy is the one that gets them. Or girl on top, but doggy is really what gets it. I think it's just the view. And also, I mean, depending on the way your legs are positioned, you can make it tighter or not. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so you asked me a question about.
Yep, I
did. Okay, so I think that there's something to be learned in every experience. Sometimes about your own body, sometimes about what other people like or what you like. I've had clients who just knew how to touch me in certain ways. I was like, wow, I really like that. I didn't know that I liked that. I definitely love when someone will kind of let me take control and I can maybe grab them a little bit and look in their eyes and be like, yeah, you want it. That's super hot to me.
Yeah.
So I do like experimenting with things like that. I have a spreader bar, and so I had a client, want to do some bondage play, and that was a ton of fun because I'm really flexible. So being able to put the spreader bar behind my head, and he's just super turned on by that, which turns me on because I'm definitely a pleaser, and so when I see my partner turned on, I'm turned on. So I think it's just stuff like that. I love having, different requests for things, people who know what they want and are not afraid to ask for it or are open to experimenting with me and just having fun. Let's just see where it takes us. Let's just see what we like. Because we might find that we go out of what we originally planned, but it just can be so much better, So I like kind of improv, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and when someone asks for a party, the best thing to do is just come out and say it.
Yeah, just tell me what.
I know sometimes you might feel embarrassed by saying something. Not you, but the clients.
Exactly.
They might feel a little embarrassed on what they what they're going to ask for. But
Can't
in
embarrass
the
you,
end,
not
you
a
can-
single thing.
Like, I mean, I've heard everything under the sun. And I mean, and if I can't get embarrassed and
You can't embarrass
I'm like,
me. Yeah.
occasionally you'll catch me off guard with like something I haven't heard of, or I haven't actually like, I really don't know anything about. But like, if I can't get embarrassed, then definitely the girls can't, because they've seen way more than I have.
Absolutely. Can't embarrass us. You
yeah.
can ask us absolutely anything and we'll never give you a weird local, whether or not we're able to do that thing, we'll let you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think a lot of us are pretty flexible in what we offer, as long as, the boundaries are respected. But yeah, I mean, I love when people are not afraid to ask, I'm like, well, is it okay if absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, can I like play with your feet? Of course you can. Over here, baby. I love my feet played with. Feels good to me. So.
Hey, who doesn't like a good foot massage? Right?
Who doesn't like a good foot massage?
Even a bad foot massage is still decent.
It's
still
there's no
like,
such thing.
You can't really go wrong. Like, I mean, just do it.
Exactly.
Just ask,
exactly.
Always ask, and then 9 times out of 10, most people are gonna go, okay.
I feel like I have a pretty good caboose, and I love when someone asks, "Can I massage your butt?" I'm like, "Yes." Heck yeah, you can. Now I can skip the massage therapist this week.
Exactly.
So. But yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So you're pretty open to almost anything at that point. So is there anything that you wouldn't want? Like, what is your sorry, let me reword that. What is your true fantasy of like what you like in a sexual moment? Like, it could be anything. Like, I mean, and obviously, within boundaries, obviously, with anything we do, but what is that moment that like really gets Lola really off? What is that thing that you really want that a client probably could do? Like, some girls, like, it's easy. It's like wine and dine, and then, easy, like cuddling, intimate sex, and then done. Other girls, it's like hardcore BDSM. And so what, like, obviously you being in control, I saw how much you glowed right there. And you're like, you like it? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Like, you like it, baby?
I'm like, I know that. I was like, okay.
See, but what's man, okay, so.
She's getting all flustered now. So
I am.
she's like, I know this.
Okay, so I do like to, and with me, it definitely depends on the person. How I feel with that person will depend, like, whether I like to be more dominant with them or if I want to be more submissive with them.
Okay.
Because I really am a switch. But I do like harder and faster. That's just the way I am. Big fan of doggy. Doggy's always my fave. I love reverse cowgirl. Okay, consensual non-consent. That's something we can talk about on the podcast.
I mean,
Here we are.
like what?
Like role play.
Oh, role play?
Yeah, like-
yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, wait. I'm like, where are we going with this conversation? No, role plays are
So-
like, because I mean, in the end of the day, it's still consent. 'Cause
Exactly.
You still consented to,
It's
like, you still
consensual.
legally agreed to everything.
Yes, exactly.
But a
So
role play is a little different. So okay.
So sometimes role play can be really hot. Like an aggressor, and I don't know. So I do like some of that. I do like some bondage. I love someone who utilizes my flexibility. Like, throw me around a little bit,
Okay.
I like to be thrown around. Some light hair pulling is always okay, but let this be an educational moment. When you're pulling someone's hair, don't pull it from down here. Grab at the base of the neck and slightly pull it back. You don't want to like rip their hair out. You want to kind of do something kind of hot, make them look at you. Super hot.
Yeah.
Looking into each other's eyes and like some dirty talk. Big fan of dirty talk. Edging's always really hot when you're making a girl like kind of wait for her orgasm or something, and you're kind of like, oh, you really want it, some of that teasing. I guess I have like kind of a trend here, but yeah, I think that'll do it. I feel like writing on top almost always can get the girl to come. It's just like the motion.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty easy one, but I do love when a guy lets me use a vibrator. Because I just love, vibrators are an addition. They're not your competition. So
True.
Just a supplement, but
Yeah, it's just a toy. It's an add-on.
it's just a toy. It's
an
an add-on.
I mean, come on. Everyone can use a vibrator in the room.
Everyone can use a vibrator. Yeah.
I mean, we have a toy cabinets for a reason in our company. There's tons of
Exactly.
things that are they're there to help your party. Now, obviously, if you want specific things, make sure you tell the girl. So that way you guys negotiate with things and talk about what's going to happen. Because maybe the toys we have here are not the toys you need, and then she's got to go out and get it, or
Which I have had to do before.
Yeah, you know, and those, because sometimes, you know, we can't have everything, or we might be sold out of that.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. Like we order sex toys all the time, and it's all about like a broad, wide environment of what we can do at every property.
Absolutely.
So like
I'm always open
especially
for
like
special requests. Yeah, I had.
And
a
and
client.
vibrators come in all different sizes.
Yes, they
and,
do.
There's
All
tons of
different
things you can do.
shapes.
But you know it. But
But okay. Butt plugs. I'm a big fan of butt plugs. I have a really pretty one. Got a blue gem on it, and I do love a good butt plug, I gotta say. I like to call it like the trifecta. So if you got a butt plug and you're having sex and you're using a vibrator.
Well, and then you have the ones that there's the Bluetooth ones. So the butt plug vibrators that are Bluetooth.
Amazing.
You even have the ones that connect to Wi-Fi, and you can control them from your cell phone.
They play music.
Well, no. Say for instance, you're in you're here in Nevada, and your client's in California, right? They can push a button and activate it.
Yes. Yeah, I love those. I've never experimented with one of those, so if someone would like to be my first.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. So
sweet.
Yeah,
I like those. The couples toys are always a lot of fun to play around with.
Oh yeah, they are. They're really cool experiences. So, well, Lola, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, it's been a good time.
Go ahead and tell the people out there, you know, how to get a hold of you. Like, what's your email? And then also, it's going to pop up below you. Don't worry. If you you don't have to really like go into full detail and all that. But and then also like they can get a hold of you on the message board. Obviously, we tell people use that all the time because it's a good tool. Trust us.
Absolutely.
It's a safe, secure environment for everyone.
So my full name is Lola La Bella. It's gonna be LA''Bella. It's kind of a mouthful. My Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok are all going to be Lola LB Bunny. So, all three of those things are the same. It's Lola La Bella on the website, and it's Lola La Bella on the message board. So you can find me just about anywhere. And then all my links are usually right there, so you can just find me all in one place. But yeah, so
perfect.
Really good to be here. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for listening.
One last thing though, did you ever think about did you ever saw the movie what is it the Michael Jordan and the Bugs Bunny basketball movie?
Space Jam?
Space Jam, yeah. You know, Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny.
Okay.
Yeah. I never thought of it like that. I was just choosing my Twitter name.
Too, so.
And exactly, and I'm a bunny, so it is Lola Bunny. But yeah, so
maybe
Lola,
even a cosplay of that.
I did do a cosplay of that at our party 2 weeks ago. So I still have the costume.
It's
if
like
anyone
I
wants
might
to
have saw a
cosplay.
picture somewhere.
Yeah. It's on my TikTok.
I was like, I know I saw something.
That was me. I even wore like little high ponytail and had the little bunny tail and stuff. It was cute.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Well, perfect. Again, it was a pleasure. Thank you again.
Thank you, James.
And then also, guys and ladies as well, thank you so much for continuing to watch and enjoy and listen to our podcast. Find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Make sure you guys thumbs up, like, 5 stars, whatever platform you're on. Leave a cool comment. You know, be polite and have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah, a great weekend. Yeah.
All right, bye.